Listening to Chill Your Mind Radio.
Left out for mamas with my thumb in the wind. The leaves on the ground, winners coming again. Solid on the surface as I crumble within. But legends are made out of vulnerable men. So on the brink of death, I still manage living life. Cause so rarely in this world, all these chances given twice. I indeed sold my soul without glancing at the price. No instructions when I was handed this device. But with what I did get, I was more than generous. Put others over self on several instances. But I'm back on my feet without a hint of bitterness. In one way or another, I shall have deliverance. So I say, Recall a time people loved you unconditionally, toasting a new south. This one is for history. Then I slipped, fell, and caused the numbers injury. Called the same people, and it's yo, you just missed me.
No, lady, how about you shut the f up? I'm doing Bluetooth, bitch.
Polo and New Balance. Then they start to question whether you a true talent or just a redneck substance abuse addict. So then you hide away just to try to find your way. And now they back, they calling you 200 times a day. I want all y'all to know, good or bad, I'll remember it. At 10 million sold in the name of my deliverance. I've been traveling for some time. When my vision fall and my bottle shine, only long out thirsty roads. Looking there, nowhere to go. I guess I gotta hide away, far away, 'cause I gotta find a way. Could atone for the pain you've endured. The blood you shed is still staining your velour. You took your wealth of knowledge and gave it to the poor, only to discover that your savior is manure. Accepted me as kin, put before your younger brother. They put a lie on us, hardly knowing one another. I honestly can say that over time I've come to love you. Now we are brothers and together none can touch us. It haunts me with regret, I never met your baby girl. She's an angel on your shoulder helping us to save the world. This musical marriage is no coincidence. On my mama tell me, baby, we shall have deliverance, so we say. I've been traveling for some time. When my vision falls and my bottle shine, only long out dusty roads. Looking at nowhere. Jim and Mathis, please come out here and tell these folks to yourself.
Please make some noise for my friend and yours, Mr. Bubba Sparks. Let me ask you something, ladies. Do you want a little more frosting on your cakes? Feel a little lacking in your packing sometimes? Do you want people to stop you on the street and ask you if you're wearing cantaloupes in your jeans? Yeah, well, if you do, look no further, because Bubba Sparks has got the answer.
Miss New Booty is the product for you. It'll take you from ordinary to extraordinary instantaneously.
Are you ready to get it right and...
Are you ready to get it right and...
Call it Paul Bubba Sparks.
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou.
Seeing is believing.
I'm ready to believe it. How about you guys? We happen to have an ordinary woman in our studio audience. She ain't seen a legend in the housewife. Wow! This stuff really works.
Girl, I don't need you, but you need me. Take it off, let it flop, shake it freely. And I don't tell stories, I let them tell themselves. And you ain't gotta sell, girl, it sell itself like nothing else. Yeah, I'm a country boy, but that big city bottom fill me up with joy. Ain't like friends, live it up, daddy. Here go the whisper song, baby, this is us, ready? Put it on me, enthusiastically. Whatever it is that you do it admirably. And I ain't choose it, if they ain't chose me, it's motherfucking my hidden gang all the way in this thing. Go! Booty, rockin' everywhere. Booty, rockin' everywhere. Booty, rockin' everywhere. This new booty, get it together and bring it back to me. Hit the Players Club for about a month or two. Put it on the dance, see what it put down to. This new booty.
in. Bubba gon' make it start with the yin yang twins. Sippin' on long, long, long. Shawty and a whoa. Keep it jiggling, wiggling. Keep that thing shaking like she frost, shivering. We delivering all type of flashes. Got these shaking out molasses.
Let me whisper in your ear. Get yourself together, go and buy some no gear. Do something with your hair, then hit the club. Shake it, and the players gon' show some love. Do that move you did just a minute ago. I guarantee you'll make all the dough. So go and do your thing, baby. Work what you got to get what you want. Make that money, don't let it make you.
Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Rockin' it, cool down, rockin' it, cool down. Found you, this new booty. Get it together and bring it back to me. Hit the Players Club for about a month or two. Put it on the dance, see what I found you.
Instantaneously.
Get it together and bring it back to me. Hit the Players Club for about a month or two. Put it on the dance, see what I do.
Oh my gosh, I love my Miss New Booty.
You may have tried other booty makers,
Get it right, get it tight.
but Miss New Booty will up your resale and get that jiggling.
Thanks, Mother.
Hi there. How are things? I once was a man. Now it seems ever since I had the pleasure of getting you together, it just whatever. I found a very treasure. Yes, man.
I am a
Here's the
huge
plan.
fan
Give
of
me no
Miss New
wonder.
Booty.
Okay, don't play. I'll bring the
Everyone
get
should
cooked
want to sing
and I'ma fix that stuff up. Everything is good.
Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Rockin' it, cool down, rockin' it, cool down. Found you, this new booty. Get it together and bring it back to me. Hit the Players Club for about a month or two. Put it on the dance, see what I found you, this new booty. Get it together and bring it back to me. Hit the Players Club for about a month or two. Put it on the dance, see what I do.
Instantaneously.
Act now, and we'll throw in these Miss New Booty hot pants.
Some of us lost our job and then lost our part-time job because of pussies that think they're trash talkers.
The nights get old, the dreams we sold, they live forever. The highs and lows, the money old, I'm getting better. 'Cause I need both to face the cold, stop my heart and let it go, break the mold and let it go. Oh, just give me the green light. Tell me if it's alright. Just give me the green light. Just give me the green light. I'm begging you this time. Just give me the green light. 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 The later I phoned, the less she called. Wasn't me he hated. Like first thing on the mind, all I needed was time. I told myself to break it. So call me what you like. Yeah. I'll raise my hands tonight. 'Cause I need both to face the cold, stop my heart and let it go, break the mold.
This is where you belong. If I lay next to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. Alright. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it also, and too, in addition to that as well. Hope you guys had a great weekend. If you didn't watch the show the last couple of days last week, I am working from the new building now, and I have a lot of new stuff out here. So it's a work in progress. So if you guys could help me out in the comments section, if something sounds too loud, if something's not loud enough, if you can't hear me, if there's an echo, if there's any buzzing or background noise. Anyway, normally I get irritated when people point that stuff out. But I'm an idiot when it comes to this kind of stuff. It took me a long time to get everything set up in the garage like I had it. And I had it sounding pretty good, looking pretty, everything was working. I knew how everything worked, but I've got some new equipment now, and everything sort of plugs in differently than it did before. And there's still a little bit of an echo in this room. I'm trying to adjust the mic levels to where y'all can't hear it, but I hear it. I'm not finished in here, so there's still it's still mainly an empty room. So the sound is just bouncing all over the place. Now, it will be fixed. I just can't fix everything at once. I did fix a major issue yesterday, which was the internet. I had a hard time getting a Wi-Fi signal in here. I even went and bought an extender. It didn't work. After talking to a lot of different people, including a lot of you guys through email or messaging, and even in the comment section here, I decided to just bite the bullet and do it the right way. So Uncle Lou spent the better part of his Sunday digging a 100-foot-long trench from my house to the new building, and I buried a Cat 6 cable, and I'm just running a hard line out here now. I did buy a router to put in here, but the computer is hardlined. So I won't have any issues internet-wise on the computer, and I shouldn't have any issues even with Wi-Fi in here because I bought a ridiculous router. I normally don't do this when I go shopping for something, but I don't know a whole lot about routers and Wi-Fi and modems and all that kind of stuff. So I just went into Best Buy yesterday morning, told them what my issues were, told them what I was going to do with digging the line out here, and that I needed some sort of router in here to, that I then could connect a bunch of TVs to and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, he pointed out what he thought I needed. I bought it. I came home. I dug the trench. Well, before I dug the trench, I just ran the wire across the yard from the modem in the house out here to make sure the router worked and the hard line to the computer worked and all that, and it worked. And it is blazing fast. I've never had internet anywhere near this fast. I've been using just Wi-Fi forever, even out in the garage, and the signal wasn't great. I was getting between 25 and 30 megabytes per second download speed and about 10 megabytes per second upload speed in the garage on my home's main Wi-Fi system. The computer out here now with the hard line, I'm getting 200 down and like 40 or 50 up. So I should have no problems with the internet out here as far as the streams go or even uploading videos, anything like that. It should be fine. So all that is hooked up. It seems to be working fine. Some of the other stuff, that was the most important thing. I don't know why I was doing other things. That should have been the first thing I did was take care of the internet. Instead of, like I started building a bar in here and, other thing. This whole building is pointless and a waste of money if there's no internet in here. That's the whole point is to work out here and without internet. So I don't know what I was thinking, trying to skate around the issue or trying to get it out here without doing it the right way. But anyway, I gave up yesterday, did the right thing, which is what I should have done probably from the beginning. And I just dug the trench and buried a Cat 6 cable in my yard. It runs from the modem in my house out to the building into, what is this thing? A Netgear Nighthawk R8000. I'll have to show it to you. It looks like a damn spaceship, but anyway, it seems to be working. Now, I don't have anything else out here yet. I've hooked my phone up to it, so it works. I'll be putting the TVs and all that up soon, and some other things that connect to Wi-Fi. Well, the air conditioner is Wi-Fi too, so it's connected to. So I know it works. The temperature in here right now is 75. The air conditioner is amazing. I don't always do things the right way. I try to cut corners where I can and stuff like that. The internet and the air conditioner, those are two things I did not cut corners on. I did it the absolute best way I possibly could. I bought an air conditioner rated for a building twice the size that I'm in. I just didn't want to play I didn't want to take any chances. Yeah, I put it in. Underground PVC pipe. I put it in underground PVC pipe, Waikiki. Thank you for the super chat, Waikiki. Appreciate that. Yeah, I I ran it through PVC pipe in the yard, so it should be fine. So anyway, some of the other stuff, like I said, if the sound is funny, we're going to attempt a phone call here in a little bit with Michael Vick, the one and only Michael Vick. He's a guest today, so we're going to attempt a phone call with him here in a few minutes. I have had some issues with phone calls too. I think I have that problem solved though, as well. The way I had my phone hooked up to my previous mixer required two different cables, not one, but two. Well, one coming out of my phone, and then that split into two different cables that went into my soundboard in two different places. This new soundboard, it's just one cable straight from the phone to the soundboard, and it's I need a TRRS cable, if you know what that is. It's the plug with 3 lines on it. My previous mixer, because it was running two separate signals, each plug had two lines on it. I don't even really understand this, so if I'm not making any sense, Ken, I know, understands it. So I had two cables with the two lines on it, and that's what I had my phone running through this new board, and that's what was causing the echo, or it sounding like I was talking into my phone instead of into the microphone. So I ordered a TRS cable. It'll be here probably tomorrow. In the meantime, this soundboard also has Bluetooth built in. You can just connect your phone to the soundboard via Bluetooth. I don't like using Bluetooth because sometimes there's a delay, but until I get the cable in, we're going to try it Bluetooth. So when we get Mike Vick on the phone, you guys let me know how that sounds when we add him. Anyway, hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a busy weekend, and I've got another busy week this week. But it's football season now, so no more messing around. I haven't uploaded a video on my main channel in a little over a week, I think. I think the last video I uploaded was when the SEC released their schedule. And then I've been so busy. I'm amazed I haven't missed any live shows. Now, there's been one or two where I started the show and then had to dip out and leave BVD to do the show on his own because there was people here or whatever, but I'm amazed I didn't miss any. I have been neglecting the main channel, but it's football time now. We had a game this past weekend. I'm sure most of you watched at least some of it. And we've got games this weekend, too. So starting this week on the Uncle Lou main channel, we're getting right back into the regular series of videos that I've been doing every season for the last 2 or 3 years. So today, I will be putting out an updated top 10 list, the quote-unquote Week 0 top 10 list. I did one after signing day. Normally, I do one after the spring games, but we didn't have spring games. And I did a preseason top 10 list about 6 weeks ago, I guess. Today, an updated Week 0 top 10 list. And, of course, since my last top 10 list, the Pac-12 and the Big Ten have opted out. So there'll be a lot of changes to the top 10 list because I had multiple. I had two. Was it two? I had at least two Big Ten teams I know in my top 10. I had Ohio State and Penn State. I don't think I had Oregon in the top 10. So there'll be some changes in the top 10 when it comes out today. And I have a question about Week 0, Week 1, Week 2. That's normally how we as fans keep track of things during the college football season, right? Like you look at your schedule and you go, man, I can't wait till Week 5 when we play whatever team. How are we doing that this year? Because you have some FBS teams playing this weekend, and I'm going to pull up the schedule here in a second. So is this Week 1 or is this Week 0? Next weekend, the ACC and the Big 12 start. Is next week Week 1? Gator Zone says September 12th is Week 1. That's the weekend that the ACC and the Big 12 start playing. So does the SEC not start until Week 3? Is that how we're going to do it? So like Georgia's first game will be Week 3? It's just a little confusing. But it is football time. So top 10 today, preview videos the next couple of days after that. Normally on Friday is the hype and hate video. No Georgia game this weekend, though, so we'll have to come up with something else for that. And Saturday, there are some interesting teams playing Saturday. Clearly no Power 5 teams, no huge name teams. But I think UAB plays. I think Southern Miss is playing. SMU, which had a pretty good year last year, best year they've had really since they got the death penalty back in the early 80s. So I'm going to stream a game this weekend over on the Patreon page. I'll make a post over there today. Now, during the season, I'm going to stream games on the regular channel, too. So if you're not on the Patreon page, you don't want to join the Patreon page, or you're unable to for whatever reason, don't worry. I'm going to stream a lot of games on the main channel this year, too. A lot of Saturdays. Once all the teams are playing, which I guess is Week 3, once the SEC starts, once all the teams are playing, a lot of Saturdays I'm going to be streaming 2 games, one on the Patreon page and one on the main channel. Until that point, I'm going to do one a week on the Patreon page. There's just not really enough good games every week until you've got all the teams playing to stream 2 games. So the way it'll work, and again, if you are a Patreon member, I'll be making a post about this later today. But the way it's going to work during the season, see, I would have streamed 2 games a week, 2 games a Saturday last year, and I think I did twice. But it was so damn hot out there that I couldn't stand it. I mean, you stream 2 games out there. That's about 8 hours worth of streaming, 7 hours worth of streaming. You add to that the fact that I have a Saturday morning show that I do from 9 to 10:30 or 11. If I stream 2 games, that's 8, 9, 10 hours of streaming sitting in that garage on a Saturday, and it was just too hot. Don't have that problem anymore, though. So on a lot of Saturdays, I'll be streaming 2 games, one on the Patreon page, one on the main channel. I'm going to pick the game I stream on the main channel based on whatever the Patreon people don't choose. So every Monday, starting today, I'll be putting a list up on the Patreon page of games. And I'm going to let the Patreon members choose which game they want me to stream that week. Whatever game they choose, I'll stream that on the Patreon page. And then I'll pick another game, obviously at a different time slot, to stream on the main channel. So that's a lot of live streaming for me on Saturdays because I'm still going to do the morning show, stream 2 games most Saturdays. I can't commit to streaming 2 games every Saturday, but most Saturdays I will. I'm going to be streaming on the Patreon page every Saturday for sure. I'll stream my second game on the main channel as often as I can. And then I'm going to try to do a Saturday night wrap-up show on the channel, maybe even a call-in show. In fact, I think it will be a call-in show. And that show will be Saturday night at 10, 10:30, 11, somewhere in there. The time, it won't really be like my other shows, I don't think, where it starts at a specific time every Saturday. Basically, whenever the primetime games end. So, you always have a couple of games that come on at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever. You got the ABC game of the week, all that kind of stuff. Once that game ends, whatever games those are, I'm going to do like a wrap-up show. I'll come on. We'll go over the scores. I'll take phone calls. Now, I'm not going to come on and the point of the wrap-up show is going to be just here's the winners and the losers today. Here's the scores. Now let's hear from you guys. You guys tell me what you think. It's not going to be me bashing teams that lost or laughing or because I'm saving all that for the Your Season Is Over video Sunday mornings. All right. I don't think I'm going to burn out. Now, that is a legitimate point, though, because the last couple of years I have reached a point by the end of November, beginning of December, where I was burned out. A lot of that had to do with where I was working in the garage. I mean, during the season, I work 60 or 70 hours a week. Easy. I'm not complaining because, I have a channel based on a sport that really only lasts 3 to 4 months a year in terms of games. So the other 7 or 8 months of the year, I don't work 60 or 70 hours a week. Some weeks I work 20, 25 hours or whatever. So it evens out. So I'm not complaining about the amount of hours I work during the season. I'm just telling you that to tell you that I have reached a burnout of just talking football nonstop like that, 60, 70 hours a week for 3 months straight. That was why I started this morning show. If you guys remember, last November is when I started this morning show because I was just so tired of talking about football. So I started the morning show to have a show that I could talk about something that was non-football related. And that's helped me a lot with the football burnout. That combined with the fact that I'm no longer in the garage. I'm in a brand new building. It's a comfortable space to be in. Obviously, it's got air conditioning and heat, but it's just, it's clean. It's brand new. It's just a comfortable place to be in. So I don't foresee myself getting burned out. Plus, we just have less games this year, which sucks. But with 2 of the major conferences not playing, that just kind of is what it is. But no, so I don't think burnout will be an issue this year. But that is a legitimate point to make. Slim Shady, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, it's all good, Lou. We all know it takes time to iron out the wrinkles. We all just appreciate you and BVD and all the hours of entertainment y'all provide. Speaking of BVD, I should have mentioned this at the top of the show and I forgot. He's unable to join us this morning. some of you may know, he told me to tell y'all, but he said if you don't tell them, they're going to just think I overslept again or something. So he said I could tell you. So he was exposed to someone who has tested positive for the coronavirus. In fact, a couple of members of his family have been exposed, and he's developed a slight cough, he said. And so he is currently at whatever the place is in his town that does coronavirus testing. So hopefully he doesn't have it, but again, this is something that BVD talks about all the time, so I'm not saying anything I shouldn't be saying here. He has some underlying conditions that, were he to contract COVID, could be bad for him. And I'm not getting into a COVID discussion, but clearly I think everyone knows that the worse off you are to start with health-wise, the worse potentially coronavirus could be for you. And that's true of any respiratory illness, the flu, pneumonia, bronchitis. There's a lot of things that, if you're healthy and you get them, maybe not that big of a deal. But if you have certain underlying conditions, it can make that other condition worse. And so, just to be safe, he's going to get tested. I'm sure he's fine. I hope he's fine. He'll let us know. I'm sure he has a live show tonight, doesn't he? It's today, Monday. Yeah, he has a live show tonight at 8 o'clock. So he'll let us know, I'm sure. So whatever you do, if you do thoughts or if you do prayers, do some of that for our boy BVD. All right. Waikiki, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, I missed the 4 p.m. call-in show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. When I first started the call-in show, I did it in the afternoons. That's what he's referring to. And that was a good time to do it. Unfortunately, because I was working in the garage at the time, it got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning the last couple of years to make my videos for the day during the summer because it just got so hot out there in the afternoon. So I dropped the afternoon call-in show and added the nighttime call-in show. And I don't want to change that now because the nighttime call-in show has become pretty popular. So I don't want to change it back to the afternoon. But free advice for anybody out there who is looking for a time slot to start some kind of college football show, the 3, 4, or 5 o'clock time slot, in my opinion, would be a good time slot to do it. You got a lot of people who get off work or school around 2, 3, or 4 o'clock. They can listen to it on their way home from work, whatever. I think that would be a good time for someone to start a show. Unfortunately, I don't have time to start a show at that time right now. I just jumped into another show. Starts tomorrow, by the way. So I hope some of you will join us. It's me and Pigskin Pete are starting a show every Tuesday and Thursday at noon. Lunch Money is the name of the show. It's going to be primarily dedicated to gambling with an emphasis on sports betting. But we're going to talk about other forms of gambling too. Of course, if you go to betnow.eu, they've got all the sports for you to bet on, but they take bets on non-sports related things from time to time too. The presidential election, when the Grammys and the Oscars and all that come around, you can bet on who wins those. So anyway, it'll be primarily a sports betting show. Not just college football either. We'll talk about the NFL. We'll, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever you can bet on, sports-wise. That show will be primarily dedicated to that. Of course, there are no guardrails on any Uncle Lou live show, so that's not to say that we'll talk about those things 100% of the time. I think it's important if you start a show, more advice. And again, and please, you don't have to take any of my advice, but it's about, people do ask me for advice all the time. Here's some more free advice. If you start a show, have a theme for the show. If it's a show, and I give, there's a running joke, is it a show or is it a live stream? There is a difference. And there's nothing wrong with either one, but decide which one you want to do. If you want to do a show, do a show. Pick a name. Pick a theme. Pick a color scheme for the show and use those colors. Do the show at the same day and time every week, whether it's once a week, twice a week, 5 times a week. If you're going to do a live stream, well, hell, that don't matter what you do. You know, do it any day, anytime, out of the blue, surprise, doesn't matter. Fire up your StreamYard, invite all 9 people that are watching into it at the same time so they can all yell and talk over each other. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't call that a show, though. Free advice. Creeping Death, thank you for the super chat. Sir, he says, BVD, sorry for your loss Friday night. Yeah, BVD's Greenville Devils. Is that the name of the high school team he's a fan of and sort of does some work for him? They got humiliated in their opening game this past week, so unfortunately, Green Devils high school, your season is over. The first year season is over video will be this Sunday. Not a lot of big-name teams playing on Saturday, but I need a warm-up. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since I paced back and forth and yelled into a phone. Can't wait to do it. Sunday morning, the first year season is over video of the 2020 season. We'll see who makes the list. Thank you guys for the super chat. And here's the PayPal link. If a mod wants to post this once every 10 or 15 minutes or so, that's fine. Just don't spam the comment section with it. People don't tune in to read the PayPal link over and over again. It gets irritating, but there it is for those of you that don't mind taking the extra step so that Uncle Lou and BVD can get 100% of your donation to the show without YouTube stealing half. There it is. Michael Vick on the show today. What do you guys think about that? Now, how is this going to go? I have 2 questions. How is this going to go? And how long is it going to go? We're going to find out. We're going to find out in just a few minutes. So I haven't seen Vic in the comments section. I don't know if any of you guys have. Let me know if you have. Yeah, let me know if you have. We'll call him up here in a little bit. See what his problem is. Yeah, Michael Vick. It should be amazing. Should be amazing. He's a longtime caller on the night show. This will be his first time being a guest here on the morning show. So I'm pretty excited. Just going to be honest. I'm pretty excited. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. Here is what is this I'm looking at here? There you go. This is what we have to look forward to. Thursday night. Now, I do a show Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10. Does anybody do a show before that? Does anyone live stream at 8 or 9? I don't think so. You guys want me to start Thursday's live stream at 8 o'clock? And we can watch this UAB game together? I mean, I'll take phone calls. It'll be a regular show, but the UAB will be on. Southern Miss comes on at 9. Should I start the show at 8? Or I could start it at 10, which would be about halftime probably of the UAB game. I could just do it as like normal. What should I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. What do you guys think? I'll probably start it at 8. It won't be me live streaming the game. You know, it won't be like a game reaction live stream like I do on Saturdays. It'll be the regular call-in show. But I mean, most of you guys are going to be watching those games. I can understand if you didn't watch Central Arkansas and Austin P or whatever it was this past weekend. But You guys will watch UAB Thursday night, won't you? I mean, I will. I mean, I'll even watch Southern Miss. I'm more interested in UAB than I am Southern Miss, but I'll even watch. I'll even watch Southern Miss. But so not terrible games. I mean, really, these are typical. These are typical Saturday night games. I mean, these are typical Thursday games. Really, the types of games you see on Thursday. You rarely see great matchups on Thursday, so we'll do that. And then here's the Here's the choices. This is why I'm not streaming 2 games this Saturday. Here's the choices. I'm just going to stream 1 game, and I'm going to let it'll be, look at this. I'll let the Patreon page choose which game. I'll make a post this afternoon. But, I mean, Memphis, they were ranked last year. Army. Army's not a bad team. Army's not terrible. They're not a bad team. SMU, like I mentioned, pretty good year last year. Marshall. No great games, but a few games featuring some pretty good teams. Army, Memphis, SMU. And then, boy, this is what everyone's waiting on, isn't it? Isn't this what everybody's waiting on right here? BYU at Navy. Give me Navy by 102. I got Navy in that one by 102. I'm going to have to update this live show schedule with the season starting and my new show with Pete, but the morning show, of course, every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 a.m. And then I have Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show, Tuesday, Thursday, 10 p.m. I'm going to have to add lunch money to this list with me and Pete. Tuesday and Thursdays at noon starting this week. And I'll have to add the Saturday schedule on here, too. But there you go. I think most of you are probably familiar with that by now. At least you should be. How's it looking here? I wish you could see. Oh, well, you can. How you like my custom welcome mat, though? Is that okay? It's got the L on it. I'll have to take a picture and post it on Twitter maybe. It's got the L on it, and then below that it says LouTube Studios. Is that good or no? And how many saw the video on Twitter of this bar? I'm gonna have the best bar in America of anyone that doesn't drink. Without no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. No one that doesn't drink is gonna have a bar as nice as me by the time it's done. But there's just no way. It's impossible. So, and I got plenty of room at that bar. So you guys come on over. I'll get you whatever you want. Coffee, espresso, latte, cappuccino, water, Coke, root beer, cheer wine, Mountain Dew, whatever you want. Plenty of room. It's a big-ass bar. The bar is 10 feet long. It's hard to tell from this angle. That bar is 10 feet long on the long side. On the front, I think it's 4 or 4.5 feet long in the back. It goes all the way to the wall. And it's not the front part closest to me. That part's not very long because you have to be able to walk behind there to get to the bar, to get to the back of the bar. That's a nice bar. I'm just saying. Bob Vila ain't got shit on me. You hear me? Bob Vila ain't got shit on Uncle Lou. Nothing. I am the one that knocks. I love that expression. It's appropriate for in so many different instances. But yeah, but I am the one that knocks. You hear me? Oh, the coffee bar. Listen, wait till you guys make fun of me about this espresso machine I bought. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I bought. What do I don't care. Screw it. White chocolate mochas from Starbucks are amazing. I don't care what you think about the people that hang out at I don't hang out at Starbucks. I don't remember the last time I went inside one. But I'll go through the drive-thru and get that white chocolate mocha. And if you haven't had a white chocolate mocha from Starbucks, I don't know what you're doing with your life. They're absolutely they're unbelievable. I bought the exact same white chocolate syrup and everything that Starbucks uses to make that white chocolate mocha. I bought it. That syrup, $63 a gallon. $63 a gallon. Wait till you see this damn espresso machine I got. You put the milk in there, it steams the milk for you and frosts the milk for you and pours that in and then adds a shot or a double shot of espresso to it. And you mix in that damn white chocolate mocha syrup, and you just saved yourself $8 or whatever the hell they're charging these days for a white chocolate mocha. And they're amazing. Amazing. And don't worry, I'll have a regular coffee machine out here too. For those of you that come over and just want a regular cup of Joe, okay? Cream, sugar, whatever the hell. Don't worry, Uncle Lou got you. So come watch a game. Come watch a game with Uncle Lou. In a couple of weeks when I finish in here. Not now. Don't come Thursday. You have your ass sitting on the floor. Show up here on Thursday. Give me a couple of weeks. Hey, by the time everyone is playing, right? Whatever we said that is, week 3. By the time the SEC starts and everybody's playing, come on over. Okay? Come on over. Creeping Death says, does homeowners insurance cover the studio and everything in it? Yes. As long as you let them know you have it. Waikiki, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, I've never drank a cup of coffee of any kind. How's that possible? You need to fix that problem. Better yet, come over here. I'll fix that problem for you. Yeah. I don't mind. I will fix that problem for you. Mike Vick, I see you telling me to add you to the show. Give me just a few more minutes, buddy. I'm going to go over some news real quick, and then we're going to add you, okay? Just hang tight. Hang tight, my brother. I don't understand how somebody's grown and ain't had no coffee. You like that pumpkin spice? I don't like pumpkin I don't like pumpkin pie. But I know that pumpkin, when they do that every fall or whatever at Starbucks, I know it's real popular. There's another one, too, that's real popular in the fall or around holiday time. What's it called? At Starbucks, they've got the pumpkin spice one is real popular, and then there's another one that a lot of people like to get in the fall or winter. What is that other one called that's so popular up there? What is it? Shoot, I'm drawing a blank. Mrs. Lou gets it all the time. Peppermint mocha. That's another popular one, but I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of. I'm drawing a blank. Maybe I'll think of it later. Where's my corn dogs at? Where's my corn dogs at in the comment section? Now, here's what I want to know. All off season, I tried to tell them, no Joe Burrow, no Joe Brady. 15 starters gone. According to the corn dog, none of that matters. Look at the recruiting classes, which I agree. You're a loaded team. Plenty of talent on LSU. But you've always had plenty of talent. But without a quarterback and that offense you had last year, you've been winning 9, 10 games a year, not 15. And then what they tell you? Best receiver in America. Almost don't matter who's throwing him the ball. Jamar Chase, best receiver in America. Well, he's opting out. So, now for the next 3 weeks, I guess, we have to listen to all the reasons why losing Jamar Chase doesn't matter. I don't know that they'll go 6-4, Tyler, but they're not winning the SEC. They're not even winning the West. Jacob, I already have a $100 bet with a corn dog that thinks they're finishing in the top 5. Should I give him an opportunity to get out of that bet since Jamar Chase isn't? Well, you know what? When we made that, it was only a couple of weeks ago when we made that bet, and we knew at that time that nothing was set in stone because of coronavirus. So I don't know that I would be morally obligated to let him out of the bet, but he's a nice guy. If he wants out of the bet, but he's got to let me know in the next few days. He usually tunes into the night show. I don't think he's on the morning show very often. It's Jay Rizzle Drizzle. So if he pops up in the night show, I don't know, today or tomorrow or Thursday or whatever, I will give him one opportunity at that time to back out of the bet based on the Jamar Chase news, because I'm a nice guy. And he's a nice guy. I like him. So I'm going to give him an opportunity to back out of that bet. The bet was $100 that LSU finishes in the top 5. I said, there's no way. I'll take that bet, right? Yeah, I'll take that bet. I don't see it happening. But I'll give him an opportunity to back out with the Jamar Chase news. Speaking of backing out, half the Auburn team is quarantined, aren't they? Something like 10 days or something they're going to miss. Was that what I read? And this is the issue. Now, it's not during there's no games right now, so not missing any games, but real practice just started last week. In terms of, coaches on the field, full pads, this is it, let's go, we're preparing, regular practice. None of this off-season stuff or conditioning stuff or, shorts and chin straps only or whatever they make up. No, last week was the first full week. Now they're going to miss the next 10 days or whatever it is. So just because you're not missing any games, which is great, you got 16 players missing a lot of practices. And this is going to happen during the season to somebody, to multiple somebodies. And again, this is something that it doesn't matter what any of us think about the coronavirus. There's a set of rules in place in each conference from the top down that everyone has to adhere to. And if you got a player that tests positive, none of this, it doesn't affect young people thing. None of that matters. He's got to quarantine and sit out. That's just the rules that the conference has set down. I think it's the ACC is going to test 3 times a week. The SEC is going to test twice a week. None of what we think matters when it comes to that. The rules are in place. If this would have been the beginning of October instead of the beginning of September, you'd have 16 Auburn players missing 1, maybe 2 games. And it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen to Auburn. It's going to happen to somebody, right? Lou, do you still think Ole Miss upsets Florida? No, it's not week 1. If you go back and watch that video, my main reasoning was that they were playing them on the road after one of their biggest games of the year, the LSU game. So, no, I do not think Florida loses to Ole Miss now. I think Florida beats Ole Miss. Now, all those prediction videos I did are basically out the window now. I don't just look at a schedule and go, well, that looks like 8-4. That's not what I do. Now, people disagree with my predictions all the time, but that's sort of the point. But, I look at when in the season a game is being played. Where is it being played? Who are they playing before that? Who are they playing after that? Is it a trap game? If it's the beginning of the year, does this team have any players that are suspended for the first game or two? I don't just go, I think Florida's going to lose to Ole Miss because I think that's funny or to piss Florida fans off. Now, some Florida fans think that, but it doesn't matter the team. Any team I pick to lose any game, there's going to be some amount of fans of that team who go, well, you just hate Florida. That's why you did that. That's not why I did that. Do I hate Florida? Yes. Of course I do. But I also hate Alabama, and I had picked them to go 12-0. So, I love Georgia. I didn't pick Georgia to go 12-0. I picked Georgia to go 11-1. So, I don't expect people to agree with all of my predictions. No one. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why, no one agrees on anything. But I don't ever pick a team to lose just because I think it would be funny or because I'm trying to piss the other fan base off. That's not what those prediction videos are for. That's what the trash talking videos. Trash talking videos, yeah, that's me trying to piss people off. If I was going to pick a game for Florida to lose just because I thought it would be hilarious, it would be the Arkansas game. That would be the funniest loss in America this year. There's no game a team can lose this year that would be funnier than Florida losing to Arkansas. Number one, Arkansas is the worst team in the SEC, maybe the worst team in the Power 3. Number two, Felipe Franks was their quarterback who came from Florida. If Felipe Franks somehow beat Florida, it would just be hilarious. Never mind the fact Arkansas is a terrible team. I didn't pick Florida to lose to Arkansas. So if I was just trying to look for something funny, that's the obvious one. Arkansas. I think Ole Miss is going to be a good team. I'm not trolling. When have you ever heard me pump up Ole Miss? Am I some sort of Ole Miss with me isn't even like a Michigan or a Nebraska thing where there's been 2 or 3 years in a row where I thought they were going to be really good. And no, I don't think I've ever been very high on Ole Miss. And I'm not really high on them now. It's not like they're winning even in a 10-game season. What are they going to be, lucky to go 5-5, 6-4? Would be a miracle. But I think Ole Miss has some talent. If you look at the 3 teams in the West with new coaches, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Arkansas, Ole Miss is definitely the most talented team out of those 3. They've got some NFL wide receivers. They've got one of the best top 5 pass rushes in the SEC. Not to name any one player as better than somebody else for another team, but if you just look at defensive front pass rush, Ole Miss got a good pass rush. I like their quarterback situation. They've got 2 decent quarterbacks. Lane Kiffin is a pretty good offensive mind. I think Ole Miss could be a pretty good team. Now, here's the thing you got to realize. 10 games, all against SEC opponents. In my opinion, 6 wins makes you a good team. 7 wins makes you a really good team. You go 8-2, 9-1, 10-0, you're great. You might be a top 10 team. A 7 wins could be top 10 worthy, in my opinion. So 6 wins. Could Ole Miss go 6-4? Maybe. I listen. I still think Ole Miss is good enough to beat one of these teams that you look at and go, no way they win that game. And those teams are Florida, Bama, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M. They'll beat one of those teams. I'm not going to bet, literally, but figuratively, I bet you they beat one of those 5 teams. Florida, Bama, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M. Anybody think they won't beat any of those? Is there anybody that thinks Ole Miss will go 0-5 against those 5 teams? Florida, Auburn, Bama, LSU, Texas A&M. What's Ole Miss record going to be against those 5 teams? I bet you they beat one of them. I bet you they go 1-4. What if they went 2-3? 1-4 is likely. What if they go 2-3? If Ole Miss goes 2-3 against those 5 teams, that's a losing record. Wouldn't you say they're a pretty good team if they beat 2 of those 5, though? How many teams in America could beat 2 of those 5 teams? 10, 15 teams, maybe? Could even beat 2 of those 5. I bet you they beat one of them. I'm not a Lane Kiffin fan either, so it's not like I'm just over, I'm not getting in over my head because I'm in love with Lane Kiffin. I don't really like Lane Kiffin. I don't like Urban Meyer, right? Urban Meyer's a great football coach. So is Lane Kiffin. I don't like either one of them personally, Lane Kiffin or Urban Meyer. I think they're below average human beings on a, morally. But there's a reason they have high-profile head coaching jobs, or in the case of Urban Meyer, used to, and could tomorrow if he wanted to, again. I like Mike Leach at Mississippi State, Sean. I just don't think Mississippi State has the talent right now that Ole Miss does. I would pick Ole Miss right now to be a little bit better than Mississippi State. Not a lot, but a little. Not a lot, but a little. You feel me? Yeah, Egg Bowl good. Always worth watching. Raylan says, do you think Ole Miss and Mississippi State are sleeper teams within the next few years? Sleeper teams to do what? The SEC West is so loaded right now. It's going to be very hard for either Ole Miss or Mississippi State, either one, I think, to win that division. In a normal year where you have 12 regular season games, is it possible that somebody like Lane Kiffin or Mike Leach could get Ole Miss or Mississippi State to a 9-win season? A 10-win season? Yes, I do think that. Hell, Dan Mullen did that. Dan Mullen did it. Anybody can do it. Yeah, I don't see Ole Miss beating Florida week 1. Now, a couple of weeks ago, when it looked like Florida may have a lot of key players opting out, maybe. But all of those players have since changed their mind and decided to play this year. All right, should we attempt to get Vic Tube on the line? I don't even know how this is going to work. I'm connected to this soundboard wireless through Bluetooth, so we'll see how this goes. I honestly don't know how it's going to work. Never tried it before. The best way to try something new is just do it live. Remember the old Bill O'Reilly? You guys know who Bill O'Reilly is? He used to be on, he used to have a show on Fox News, 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday, before he got fired for sexual harassment. The O'Reilly Factor, I think it was called. He used to be on, was it A Current Affair or one of those like almost tabloidy entertainment type shows? This was, long before Fox News. And there's a clip where he's trying to pre-record an intro. and he keeps getting it wrong, or the teleprompter is wrong, or someone's holding up the wrong cue card, and he keeps getting madder and madder and madder, and they run out of time, and the show's fixing to come on, and they're already recording. The show's fixing to come on, and he like grabs his tie and, you know, yanks his tie real tight. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That's always the best way. All right, let's attempt to get VicTube on the phone.
Hey, good morning, Dad.
Yeah, good
Mike
morning.
Vick here.
Yeah, that's good. Now I hear you, VicTube. Now, do you hear me though?
Yeah, hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear. That was going to be my next question. All right, now in the comment section, you guys are going to have to let us know. This is the first time I have tried phone calls through Bluetooth with this soundboard, so let me know. Can you hear Michael Vick? Do I need to turn him up, down? Can you still hear me okay? Is there any kind of echo? Whatever. Make sure you guys in comments let me know. Mike Vick, how is it possible? How's that possible that this is the first time you have appeared on the morning show?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, it's not like you've asked a bunch of times and we said no. You know,
No.
you asked one time and we went ahead and said yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what made you decide? You know what? I'm gonna email the morning show and see if I can be a guest on there. How did you come to this? How did you come to this conclusion that you needed to be on the morning show?
Oh, well, I don't know, because I'm such a big fan of yours, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. You've been a long time watcher and caller on the nighttime show, so it's good to get you on as a guest here on the morning show. Now, you know, when we have guests on for the first time on the morning show, I like to find out some things about them that maybe we didn't know before. Now, you don't have to answer anything I ask you. You can tell me it's none of my business. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Now, first up, for anybody that doesn't know Mike Vick, tell them what team you're a fan of, and whatever else you want to tell them about yourself.
Yeah. So, I am a Georgia fan, as y'all probably already knew. And I live in the Athens area. Yeah, so I live near Athens. Yeah, so like one of the surrounding counties.
Right.
Let's just say.
So you live in the boonies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I live in the country.
Okay, good. You ever get to any games?
Yeah. I've been to a few games.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to when we played Nichols back in 2016. Yeah, that was the first game I ever went to, and then I also went to the game in Auburn in 2017.
In Auburn?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And of course we lost that game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a beat down. Yeah, we got humiliated. Yeah.
Now, what made you go to that game? You know somebody that is an Auburn fan, or you just wanted to go to an away game, or why the Auburn game?
A friend hooked me up with some tickets. Yeah.
Okay, good to have friends like that. You know.
Yeah. And then I went to the spring game in 2019.
Right. Now, the Nichols game.
Yeah.
Game 2 of the Kirby Smart era.
That's right. That's right. First home game.
And a lot of people left that game mad and worried.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We had beat North Carolina. We had beat North Carolina the week before, the return of Nick Chubb. Beat North Carolina in the Chick-fil-A game or whatever the hell in Atlanta. People's spirits were high. And honestly, Mr. Vick, we should have lost that Nichols game.
Yeah, I know.
They outplayed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they outplayed
no
us.
doubt.
A fumble. Was it a fumble or something late in that game, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think it was Easton threw an interception in the end zone, and then it got and then they almost took it all the way back. Yeah,
it was very alarming.
Set them up with like first and goal, and then they ended up scoring right after.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, there's a story I could tell about that game, and maybe one day I will. But for now, I'll just say this: Uncle Lou had tickets to that game, and that was the last day that Uncle Lou drank. So, September 11th, 2016. So, coming up here in a couple of weeks, be 4 years for me. But that game is the reason I quit. Well, not that game, but I quit drinking after that day. Yeah. And I had tickets to the game. I even made it to Athens. Did not make it to the game. In fact, ended up having a free place to stay up there for 3 days. Now, it wasn't free in the end, but I didn't have to pay at the time. If you know what I'm...
Yeah, I know.
You smell what I'm cooking here.
Yeah, I've heard the story.
Okay, good. Yeah. So
yes,
that was the last day Lou drank up there. Yeah. Took a nap right outside the bookstore too. That was fun.
Yes. So you remember how you used to smoke? Yeah, you quit, right? Did you
quit smoking what?
Yeah, you quit smoking. Yeah, like cigarettes.
No, I asked the questions here.
Okay.
You smoke cigarettes, Michael Vick?
No.
Weed?
No.
Heroin?
No.
You don't smoke nothing, do you?
Nope.
You're a smart individual. Now, does Mike Vick drink at all?
No.
Okay. Nothing wrong with drinking. I just can't do it. Nothing wrong with anybody else that does it, though. I just can't do it. Not anymore. It's a risk-reward analysis, and the risk too high for me. So then you said you went to a spring game. So you went to the Nichols game. That was in 16. You went to the game at Auburn in 17.
Yep.
And then you said you went to the spring game, what, in 18?
19.
In 19. 18, you just said, I'm not going to go this year.
That's right.
I'm not going to go to no games this year. Yeah.
Because, I feel like, it's like, because, of course, it's been a bad experience both times I went, so.
You had a bad experience both times you went
to? I meant, no. Well, no, it wasn't. It was, I'm talking about, like, the game, like, the way the game went. I mean.
Oh, I got you. Now, did we win the spring game when you went?
Yeah, I think so.
We did win that one?
Yeah.
That was in what year did you say that was? 2019?
2019.
Now, 2019 was the first spring game I didn't go to in like 6 or 7 years. I had been to 6 or 7 in a row. And And I always take Mrs. Lou and both the kids to the spring game. For people who have never been to the spring game, and if you've been watching me for a while, I talk about this all the time. The spring game is one of the funnest football events you can go to, in my opinion. There's no stress. There's no anxiety. You don't have to worry about leaving a loser. There's a lot that goes on around the spring game. There are dozens, maybe even hundreds of ex-players every year at the spring game, and a lot of times you're able to walk up to them, talk to them, get your picture taken with them, get autographs, all kind. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I take Mrs. Lou and the kids every single year. Mrs. Lou's not a huge football fan. She goes to the spring game. It's free. There's no point in taking Mrs. Lou to a game where you have to buy a ticket. It's just not worth it to her. But it's a ton of fun. I take Mrs. Lou and the kids every single year. Great time. If anyone has never been to a spring game, you should go. It's a lot of fun. Baca says it's like a carnival. And the tailgating and the atmosphere outside the stadium at a spring game is every bit as exciting and everything as a real game. It's a different type of atmosphere, but a lot of stuff going on at the spring games. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of recruits. They have their own section they sit in. They do at a game too, but see a lot of future Georgia stars there. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. And 2019 was the first year I didn't go in 6 or 7 years. The spring, Mrs. Lou's birthday is April 20th, and that always falls around the spring game. So but sometimes her birthday might be on the Friday before or the Sunday after or whatever. But that particular year, 2019, her birthday, the spring game was on the 20th. And so I had told her a month or so ahead of time that we would just skip it that year and stay home and do something for her birthday instead of going. But I absolutely love the spring game. It's almost. I might like the spring game better than not better than a regular game, I guess. But anyway, you almost can't even compare the spring game to going to a real game. It's two totally different experiences, in my opinion. But yeah, I love the spring games. If there's anyone who hasn't been and you're able to go, you really should try to get to a spring game. I know this is the internet and everybody's a millionaire. If you don't know somebody, Georgia tickets are very expensive to buy, very expensive. And there's a lot of people who don't go to games because they just can't afford it. There's been plenty of games I wanted to go to and couldn't afford it. It's just very expensive to go to a Georgia game. Spring game, the tickets are $0. They cost nothing. Now, you're going to spend some money up there with the concession stand, and maybe you want to buy yourself a T-shirt or buy your kid a T-shirt or whatever. But the point is, it's the most affordable way you'll ever be able to see Georgia play football, even though they're playing against each other. It's just a lot of fun. And I always encourage people to go. Anyway, but that's my 2 cents on the spring game.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, it was nasty weather when I went. Yeah, it was rainy and cold.
Rainy and cold. Well, I don't know how good or bad that is. Normally in the spring game, it's 100 degrees and no shade anywhere. So rain might not have been that bad. I don't know. Now, when you say cold, what are you talking? 55 degrees?
Yeah, it was. It was in the 50s. Yeah.
Now, how was it when you went to the Auburn game? And so what was the weather? Because I went to the Auburn game in 18, and it was in Athens, and it was a night game, and it was 30 degrees. That's the coldest game I've ever been. It was freezing. I mean, my feet were ice cubes. What was the weather like when you went at Auburn in November of 2017?
Yeah, it was pretty cold.
Yeah. How'd you like Auburn? How'd you like the stadium compared to Sanford Stadium?
Compared to whose stadium?
Sanford, Georgia.
Oh, It was pretty nice.
Yeah. I've been to the campus, Auburn campus. I've never been inside I've never been to a game there. I've been to the campus. Campus was nice. Not as nice as UGA, but I'm a little biased, but it was a nice campus. It wasn't South Carolina. South Carolina's campus is horrible. It's terrible. It should be condemned. But Auburn's campus was nice.
So, I remember how you took a tour of the South Carolina campus.
Yeah, I had to go ahead and do that, and it was horrible. And I'm just not a fan of college campuses that are in big cities. It's just not the same to me. Not that Columbia is huge, but it's the capital of South Carolina. Their campus is in downtown Columbia. I don't know. It's not the same as going to Auburn's campus or UGA or Alabama. You know what? It's like Georgia Tech. Now Atlanta way bigger than Columbia, so Georgia Tech's even worse. But I don't know. Just college campuses in the middle of downtown of big cities, just to me, not the same atmosphere as sort of a small rural town. I mean, you look at Athens, the population doubles during when school is in. It's not a huge place. Auburn, not a huge place. Tuscaloosa, these places. I like college campuses better. Hell, the Georgia-Florida game in Jacksonville, same thing, right slap dab in the middle of downtown Jacksonville. But anyway.
Okay, so what else? So what else you got for me?
This is your show, sir. I'm just along for the ride. You tell me where we're headed.
Okay. All right. Well, you still didn't answer my question about if you quit smoking.
Yeah, I asked the questions here.
Okay, fine. We just said this is my show, and then you said you asked the question. So.
Right.
Okay. So ask a question then.
Well, let me ask you this, Michael Vick.
Okay.
Why the name Michael Vick?
Oh, huh.
People ask me all the time, why Uncle Lou? So I'm asking you now, why Michael Vick?
Okay, why Michael Vick?
Yeah. In other words, are your parents to blame, or did you pick this as a YouTube name?
No, it's a YouTube name. No,
Okay.
It's not. It's not my real name.
Now, I'm assuming you picked that name because of the quarterback, Michael Vick?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Is there any other reason why you picked it?
Let's see. No. Well. Yeah. Well. Yeah. It's sort of based on my real name.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Now, were you a Mike Vick fan?
No, not really.
No, not really. I was. How old are you, Mike Vick? Somebody asked in the comment section. Aren't you, 24 or something?
No, 22.
22? I was close. I used to work at the fair guessing people's ages, but it's hard for me to guess based just on your voice. But I was pretty close.
Yeah, I'll be turning 23 on Thursday.
Well, happy birthday. Early, in case I forget to tell you that on Thursday. Okay? All right?
All right.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Happy,
Yeah.
early birthday.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
So that means carry the 2. So you didn't see the national championship game, whatever it was, or 18 years, whatever, 18 years ago, whatever. What year was it? Florida State versus Virginia Tech.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch that game. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I was a little bit
Okay.
kind of too young to really remember.
I became a Michael Vick fan during that game. Did you watch the Kentucky Bowl game this past season?
Yeah, I did.
Who'd they play? I'm drawing out. Who'd they play?
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Okay. Now, Kentucky won that game.
Yep.
How and why did they win that game?
Because they had Lynn Bowden.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
If you're jonesing for some football right now, anybody in the comments section, find that game on YouTube and watch it. Lynn Bowden single-handedly won that game. It was just unbelievable. Now, he's a wide receiver and a pretty good one. But if you guys remember, Kentucky had a bunch of quarterback issues last year with some injuries, and Lynn Bowden ended up having to play quarterback. He was the quarterback when they played Georgia. I think he threw one pass. And he didn't throw the ball that much in the bowl game, but he did complete a few passes. But he single-handedly won that game. And if you go back and watch the entire season, the year that Virginia Tech and Florida State ended up playing in the national championship game, Virginia Tech had a few good players that ended up in the NFL. They were nowhere near as talented top to bottom as Florida State was. And Michael Vick almost single-handedly won that game. I mean, he was a one-man problem for Florida. I mean, Florida State had no answers for him. Watching that, it was like, you know, when a basketball player, they have that phrase when a basketball player is in the zone.
Yeah.
And it just seems like he could close his eyes and shoot backwards and it would go in. It just like no matter he can't miss.
Yep.
You don't see that very often in football.
No.
You don't see that. Every once in a while, maybe a quarterback looks really dialed in. Was it 2015, Georgia versus South Carolina? Grayson Lambert. Dude was terrible. Terrible. Grayson Lambert was so bad he made Jake Fromm look good. But Grayson Lambert in that South Carolina game was in the zone. Do you remember that game, Mr. Vick?
Yeah. Yeah, he was like 25 for 26 or something like that.
Yeah. Still the highest completion percentage in NCAA history for anybody over like 25 pass attempts or whatever it was. He couldn't miss. That national championship game, Florida State versus Virginia Tech, and really the entire season, Virginia Tech, it was Michael Vick and not much else. It was a lot. I became a Michael Vick fan. He was fun to watch. And with the Falcons, he was fun to watch. And I know it ended bad with the dog stuff, and that's horrible. I love animals. I love dogs. I've got 3 dogs, 2 cats. I mean, I love animals, and it's unforgivable what he did. I get all that. But if you try to separate that and just go back and watch Michael Vick play his last year at Virginia Tech, it was unbelievable. And you got to remember, we see a lot of that now. I mean, even you fast forward to 2010, you had Cam Newton. 2005 or 6, whatever it was, Vince Young at Texas. And you've had some other quarterbacks that have sort of just, one-man crews almost. But when Michael Vick did it, nobody had ever seen that before. Not at the quarterback position. The way he would run the ball. And he was the fastest guy on the field every single week. And he was fun to watch with the Falcons too. I mean, he won some games for the Falcons, a bunch of them. It's a shame how it ended for him, but he brought it on himself. I don't feel sorry for him. Dude was a millionaire, and he let a bunch of knuckleheads from his neighborhood when he was a kid basically ruin his life, because he couldn't let him go, couldn't get rid of him, didn't want to get rid of him, whatever it was, and it ruined his career for sure. It was a shame how that went down with him, but he was a lot of fun to watch. Even if you hate him now, I talk every year about, man, I can't wait to watch this guy play or that guy play. Chase Young last year. I wanted to watch Rondale Moore this year. Michael Parsons at Penn State. Jerry Jeudy was amazing to watch. Mike Vick was like that. You had to watch him. I don't care if you hated Virginia Tech or didn't even know who Virginia Tech was or have any feelings about Virginia Tech one way or other. If you were a college football fan, you were watching Michael Vick play. He was unreal. Go back and watch that national championship game. Virginia Tech lost. Florida State was a loaded team. Loaded. I mean, that was back in the middle of when Florida State finished in the top 5. How many years in a row did Florida State finish in the top 5 when they were on that run? 10 or something? I mean, it was unbelievable. But Michael Vick almost beat him. Great game. Anyway.
Yep. So, yes, and it's about him. It's about him throwing away his career. Yeah, that was kind of like right now we have DeAndre Baker, right, in his armed robbery.
Oh, yeah, he's done with, too. It's over for him. He'll never play another down in the NFL. Hope he saved some of that signing bonus. Hope he didn't gamble it all away on Domino's or whoever he robbed to get his money back.
Yeah, no,
he's done.
Stole. Yeah, he stole a bunch of watches.
Yeah, well, they were his watches. He lost them gambling.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, he lost them. Oh,
yeah, he lost them playing dice or dominoes. I forget which it was, or Tunk, or one of those, one of them games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. And he was just taking them back.
Then he got mad, went back and got them. Remember when OJ tried that?
Yeah.
OJ wound up in jail for that too. Got away with murder. And then got locked up for stealing his own merchandise back from a guy that had it. What a shame. Now, enough about football. No one tuned in for that. Now, when Mike Vick isn't busy watching Uncle Lou, what's he doing?
Okay, yeah. Sometimes I will make videos.
That's right.
Yeah, when I'm not making videos, I'm playing like video games.
Now, what type of video games do you like to play?
I play like mostly like the violent ones, like the killing kind.
The killing kind. Are you talking about like Call of Duty and that, or?
Yeah, so I play like Call of Duty. Let's see, Skyrim. I play Skyrim. Let's see, Fortnite. I have some Star Wars games. Let's see, I have a few Assassin's Creed games.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah, there's a bunch of those. Hey, what about Hitman?
Hitman.
That game any good?
No, I never played that.
Okay, good. Now, are you a Sony pony, or are we talking Xbox One here?
No, I play Xbox One.
Xbox One, okay. Yeah, Uncle Lou has an Xbox One.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I played some Madden.
Yeah, you got the new one?
Let's see. I have. I have 20.
Okay, yeah. The new now the new one just came out, and I'm a little irritated. Normally, I get the new one right away, but I've had so much other stuff going on here. I haven't even downloaded it yet. And all I do is play Mutt, and I don't even really play Mutt. I just collect the Georgia players. Like, I'm not competitive. I'm not going online and letting some 9-year-old beat me by 40 points. That's not what I'm doing. I just play the solos, and I'll do a few other things on there to get coins or whatever to buy packs and this. And if I get anybody that's good, but they're not a Georgia player, I sell them. You know what I'm saying? And then I buy the Georgia players that I want. Like last year, I had Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, and Todd Gurley, and those were my 3 running backs in MUT 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now this year, I'll have 4, won't I?
Yeah, you'll add Swift.
Yeah, I had DeAndre Swift this year. And if you think about it, you can make a pretty good team in Madden out of just Georgia players. And for you guys that don't know what MUT is Madden Ultimate Team, and it's sort of fantasy football, I think is a good way to describe it. You have a team name, but the players that are on your team are up to you. You acquire the players through different ways. Sometimes you can do these solo challenges, and the reward at the end will be a certain player. You get coins for doing different things, and you can buy packs of cards, and who knows what cards you'll get out of there. And it's not just current players. They'll come out with different promotions during the year. They have a legend series that might have Hines Ward. He didn't play anymore, but they might still put out a Hines Ward card. And then once you have the card, then you have the player. So if you think about it, you can put together a pretty good team in Madden from just Georgia players. You have Matt Stafford at quarterback. Wide receiver, you get A.J. Green out there. A couple of other Georgia wide receivers in the NFL. None have really broke through. Well, Miko Hardman, you put Miko in the slot. A.J. Green at wide receiver 1. And then, whoever you want to put at wide receiver 3. Javon Wims is in the game. A couple of others. In running back situation, of course, we all know that Chubb, Michelle, Gurley, now DeAndre Swift. Herschel Walker has been in the game in the past as a legend. Terrell Davis, Garrison Hurst. You never know which players, their ex-players, they're going to put in there from year to year. Offensive line, David Andrews at center. You can find Georgia players for all the other positions too, although they're not. I wouldn't consider them elite players or whatever. Then over on the defensive side, Roquan Smith, Leonard Floyd, Champ Bailey's in the game almost every single year. He's one of the best defensive backs in the game every single year. Thomas Davis, they still put him in the game. Anyway, you build a pretty – and that's all I do on Madden. I don't get on there and play the online games where – at the end of the first quarter, these people are beating me 40-0, and I'm breaking shit for no. I don't even do that. I just collect the Georgia players. That's it. And then what I do is I'll collect the Georgia players, and let's say I've got a Georgia player at left guard, but he's just terrible. Then I'll look for any other SEC player that I can replace him with. And I just try to get the best team that I can. That's all I do. But I have a lot of fun. I buy it every year. People, Madden sucks. It was way better 10 years ago. Probably was. I just like to collect the players. That's all. That's it. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Now,
are you gonna put Jake Fromm on your team?
No. I mean, I'll have him on my team. He won't start. I'll have him because he's a Georgia player. I try to get all the Georgia players, but he won't. Stafford will be my starting QB. He has to be. So. Now, when you play Call of Duty, and tell me if I'm wrong here, I have a feeling when you play Call of Duty, you're just straight murking people on there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're one of those people I hate playing against, ain't it?
Yeah.
You talk shit on there, don't you?
Yeah, no, no, not really.
You have a headset with a microphone, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. BVD recently got one of those. I don't know if he's playing Fortnite or Call of Duty or what, but he's been trying to use it on his show streams that he does too. What's funny about BVD doing that though is he still has that huge Yeti microphone sitting right in front of him with the giant orange windscreen on it. But he's also got a headset with a microphone on it. So what microphone do you think he's using in that scenario?
Let's see, I think he's using a tin can, two tin cans with string tied to them.
Yeah, I think he's using the Yeti, and he's only wearing the headset for the headphone feature. I'm sure he knows, though, that they have just headphones. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know it, surely BBD knows it.
Yeah.
Jeff Webster, I mentioned it earlier, but he was unable to attend today. He had a doctor's appointment at 8 o'clock this morning. He was exposed recently to someone that he has now found out tested positive for the Rona. So he's going to get tested himself this morning at 8. And he said to tell y'all that. So I don't want to hear Uncle Lou's out here putting BBD's business in the street. He told me to tell y'all that so that y'all wouldn't think he just overslept or something. So that's where he's at. Now, any questions in the comment section for our guest, Mike Vick, here on VicTube, right?
Yeah.
How can they find you? What if they wanted to watch your videos?
Oh, you look. You would. Yeah. My channel name is VicTube Productions.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
sure.
Because we went through this one time before about something, but let's look up VicTube Productions. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up now. I'm gonna post a link in the comment section for people too, because they need to be subscribed to you for obvious reasons. VicTube Productions. Now that's VIK Tube, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Now, what do we have to do to get you to create an avatar? Instead of just using the generic one that YouTube assigns you based off the first letter of your YouTube name, where your avatar is just a green circle here.
Right.
A green circle with a V in it. What do we have to do to get you to create some sort of avatar here?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can make one. If that's what the people want, then yeah.
I would recommend it.
Then yeah, I can go ahead and do that.
Now, what would happen if I clicked on this video? The thumbnail is a cat taking a shit in a litter box, and it says "Trash Talk Kentucky Kitty Cats." Now, what would happen if I clicked on that video?
Yeah, I guess it would. It would play the video. Yeah, it would be, and it would be talking trash about Kentucky.
Okay, now what about the one where the thumbnail is a picture of a toilet right here, and it says "Trash Talk Vanderbilt Commodores"?
No, it's the commode.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the Commodore, so that kind of sounds like commode. Yeah.
You're right. Now, above that, there's a thumbnail of an elephant's ass.
Yeah, that was my Alabama trash talk video.
Yeah, this one's called "Trash Talk Alabama Crimson Turd /Gumps." Now, here's one, "Trash Talk Florida Gay Turds," with a picture of Tim Tebow crying.
Yep.
Now, I'm noticing this is a series you have here. "Trash Talk Tennessee Voltards," and it's got a picture of the trash can. I like that. "Trash Talk Old Piss Sharks." Now, now, what possessed you to make a trash talk video about Ole Miss?
Oh well, I don't know. I'm just doing all the teams.
Yeah, I see that.
All the SEC teams. Yeah.
Because this right here, this next one is talk about kicking someone when they're down, Michael Vick. "Trash Talk Arkansas Razorbacks."
right. No one is exempt, Lou.
I see this. Trash Talk South Carolina Shamecocks with, what is that, SpongeBob?
Yeah, SpongeBob as a chicken. Yeah.
Right. Now, for some reason, you put this team's regular name. It says Trash Talk Texas A&M Aggies.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I couldn't come up with another name.
Well, they're the Cadets, sir.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, this one is confusing. Oh, never mind. I read that wrong. Never mind. I thought it said Penn State Mutts, and I was wondering why the Nittany Lions were Mutts.
No,
But it's
no,
it's
that's
Piss State,
Piss
which
State,
I'm gonna
right.
now. I don't know. Is that Mississippi State?
Yes, Mississippi State. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So for the Ole Miss thumbnail, that was Elijah Moore doing a touchdown celebration. Where
Cost
he
them the
pretended
game,
to
man. Yeah,
be like a dog.
cost them the game too. Right here. Cost them the game. They called a penalty on that, and then that cost them the game. Now, can you explain this title? College Football Saturday and changing Laura to polo.
Oh well, yeah. Well, you see, the first part, yeah, was I talked a little bit about the game on Saturday.
What
you know,
game?
The Austin P Central Arkansas.
Now, so you
game.
did a little preview, Austin P Central Arkansas. Okay, so that's College Football Saturday. Now the next part where it says and changing Laura to polo.
Yeah, that was about it's supposed to be like Hurricane Marco and Hurricane Laura. So I thought that maybe they should change Hurricane Laura to Hurricane Polo, to match.
So if I click on this video, I'll hear you talking about the weather.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which one of these videos is your best video, would you say?
Well, I don't know. Probably one of my trash talk videos. Yeah, probably like the Florida one or the Tennessee one.
The Florida or Tennessee. Okay. Now, I hate to do this to you. I'm going to play introduction to my channel. And I'm going to need you to explain something to me. Here we go.
Okay.
Now, I know you probably can't hear it or see it or whatever.
Live
Let me
on
let
Vic
people
2.
listen to a little bit of it, and then I got to ask you
Some
something.
of y'all might know me from the Uncle Lou channel. Yeah, I call into Uncle Lou's live shows sometimes. And yes, and I do live in Georgia. Yeah, and I am 22 years old. Yeah, I know I don't look like it, and a lot of y'all were curious in knowing how old I am. So yes, so I am 22.
Now you're mentioning that everyone was curious about your age. I'm going to tell you what I'm curious about. Okay?
Okay. Go ahead.
Now earlier I asked you, do you smoke cigarettes? You said no. Do you smoke weed? You said no. Do you smoke heroin? You said no. Do you smoke anything? I said. You said no.
No.
Okay.
So you wanted to know why?
I want to know
it's
where
all
the hell.
foggy?
I want to know where the hell all that smoke is coming from, sir.
Oh, that was just a dirty camera lens.
A dirty camera lens.
That's right. Yes, like the camera lens on my phone was dirty.
I mean, if the
Yes,
cause
so
if the cause of what I'm seeing is a dirty camera lens, did you rub a stick of butter across the lens?
Well, I don't know. No, I don't know why how it got so dirty. I don't know.
Well, surely.
I have no idea.
Surely. Now you recorded this on your phone, right?
right.
You watched it back.
hmm
But you said, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna clean my lens off and refilm it. That would be stupid. That's basically how it went down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
But I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that after that you cleaned your lens, right?
yeah, I did.
Yeah. You just there's no way you could watch that video on YouTube and not fix the problem immediately.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's watch this video that was made a week or so later called Racism is Wrong, which I agree with, by the way. Let's take a look.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Okay, let me go ahead and stop it. Now, how do you explain this, sir? It's now smokier in that room than it was before.
Really?
Yes.
What? It
You
is?
can't see it?
Oh. All right. Well, maybe I hadn't cleaned the camera yet.
Now, the video we watched first said 2 months ago. So
Yeah,
actually, let me look at the date. I'm going to go back and look at the date. The first video you made, introduction to my channel, this one. Now that was on June 28th.
Huh?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, Racism is Wrong was on July 1st.
What's up, y'all?
Now that's a good 3 or 4 days. I mean, I'm no math major. So, I mean, my question is, why not clean it off after the first video? And my second question is, how did it get that much? How did your what are you doing to your camera? You've got to be rubbing butter on it. How did it get this much more dirt? Like, I look at this first video. Where is it? Let's go back. I look at this first video and I'm like,
Hey, what's up, y'all?
if that's a dirty camera lens, there's no way it can get any dirtier. Like, that's the dirtiest that a camera lens could possibly be without just not being able to see out of it, you know? But then 4 days later, I was wrong. Look at the left side of the screen over here. I don't know if that's a wall back there. I don't know if this is... It almost looks like swamp mist. Now, this is in your room, right? You're not in a swamp, are you?
No.
Okay. And that's just a dirty camera lens.
That's right.
Okay. You're not smoking a pound of weed before you record these videos.
No.
I'm going to take your word for it, but the video evidence is a little overwhelming. Let's just go through and figure out when you did finally clean the lens. It's cleaned here where it says comment on the comments, which is a great idea for a video, by the way. But
right.
Let's go. Okay, so after racism is wrong, that was on July 1st. Then comes the trash talk video about South Carolina. Now let's see. Now look at okay. All right. Now you're outside here on some sort of a porch here. Okay? Which is great. And there's no smoke. Now you say it's because you cleaned your lens.
That's right, I did. Yeah.
I say it's because you only smoke weed in your bedroom. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I told you I don't smoke.
I mean, what room am I looking at here? Some sort of a porch?
Okay. Yeah, I decided to clean the camera and go outside.
So it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I decided to do both of those teams together. Maybe if I clean the camera off and go outside, it will look better.
Now, are you outside? Or, I mean, this is a porch, right?
That's right.
Is it screened in or something?
No. We have those little some like sunshades.
Okay, but air can flow through there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
So if
yeah,
if you're smoking in there, the air can go out the sunshade into the atmosphere, so that the room is not completely filled with smoke.
right.
Right. And that makes sense to me. But in your bedroom here, there's nowhere for that
Hey,
smoke to
what's
go,
up,
is there?
y'all?
No,
It just lingers in that room. Right?
right.
All right. Now, what'd you say your favorite video is?
Probably
Pick one.
let's say the Florida one.
All right. All right. I now present uninterrupted, with no commentary from me, a VicTube production. Trash Talk, Florida Gay Turds. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Michael Vick, live with an outdoor edition here on VicTube. And I'm back with another trash talk video. And this time I'm going to talk about the Florida Gay Turds. Dan Mullet loves to run his mouth about UGA, but he has never won a division on his 9 years at Mississippi State and his 2 years at Florida. He has never won his division. The best thing he did when he was at Mississippi State was lose to Georgia Tech in the Orange Bowl. And he was the first Florida coach in 30 years to lose to Kentucky. So, Georgia has been a better program than Florida over the past decade. I mean, we have won the East 5 times. Y'all have only won it twice, right? We also have an SEC title, a Rose Bowl win, and college football playoff appearance, and a national championship appearance. And yeah, I know we still can't beat Alabama, but neither can y'all. I mean, when we win the East, I mean, at least we're able to, make those games, against the Gumps, good games. I mean, y'all show up in Atlanta and y'all get ran off the field. Oh, yeah, and y'all have had, and plus we have the head-to-head record, 6-4. Plus we are 4-1 against Dan Mullen. Yeah, and Kirby Smart owns Dan Mullen. 3-0. Yeah, I remember when we beat y'all. 31. And we beat Dan Mullen 31-3. Yeah, when he was at Mississippi State, and then when we and then remember when we beat y'all 42-7. Yeah, back in 2017. Oh, anyway, yeah, and then y'all have had 2 losing records over the past 10 years. Yeah, I remember back in 2013 when y'all went 4-8 and lost to Georgia Southern. And then 2017 y'all went 4-7. So yeah, and you're not beating UGA this year. It's like UGA's gonna beat you again. We're gonna beat y'all 4-0. I mean, we're still more talented and a better coach too. So yeah, we're gonna win the East again this year. So yeah, it's really all I gotta say. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
VicTube Productions. You guys make sure you check that out. Let me put it up on the screen one more time, so if you guys do want to find the channel. Let's see. In fact, I'll let's see. Here you go. Copy. Here's the link to VicTube Productions. So you guys can click that link right there. Subscribe to VicTube. Watch VicTube every day like you're supposed to. Now, before we let you go, VicTube, I want to thank you for coming on this morning. Sorry BBD wasn't here. I know he really wanted to be on with you too, but so we'll have you on again sometime in the future when BBD's on too. But I think you did a great job today, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, Uncle Lou believes in equality. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. And there are certain things that I just feel like I have to point out in certain situations.
Right.
I like to make trash talk videos too. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of my favorite things,
Really?
one of
No,
my
I
favorite
didn't know
things
that.
to do when I'm doing a trash talk video about Kentucky, there's a trait that Kentucky fans have, a physical trait, a physical characteristic, if you will,
Right.
that I love to point out. Do you know what that is?
The neck beard.
The neck beard. The neck beard. I'm going to ask you now to explain one more thing to me. Okay?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. Can you explain this? Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
All right. It might be on a little bit of a delay, but
Yeah. There's a little bit of a lag. Yeah.
okay. Let me know when
Between,
you see it. But this here, I mean, that's almost a chest beard. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so.
Okay. And I don't think there's a point in the video where I can see this side of you, the other side of you.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's a camera. There we go. Now, it's not on this side. Not, at least not to the extent. Oh man, that was a good. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So this here, but not here. But the main thing is just that. Do you still have that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah. That's just the way it grows. Yeah. It won't. Yeah. It won't really grow much on that side for some reason.
Well, thank you for clearing that up for me, VicTube, and I'm sure that answered a lot of questions that people had. So, all right, last thing, then I'll let you go. Give us your brief thoughts, and then a record prediction for Georgia in the regular season. What do you think about the team, briefly, because we got to end the show, and then a record prediction.
Okay. Right. I think we're going to be 9-1.
All right. And is that an Alabama loss?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of
right.
makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, and then I think we'll beat them in the SEC championship.
So a rematch. So we lose
Yeah.
regular season. Yeah, that would.
Right, but we win the second game.
I'm leaning that direction as well. Any problem areas for Georgia this year, roster wise?
Well,
Any concerns you have?
well, see, offensive line might be a bit of a concern. That we lose a lot there. You know, we lose like Andrew Thomas, Isaiah Wilson, Cade Mays, Solomon Kinley. You know, they're all gone.
They are all gone. Now,
Yeah,
talent
they're
is not the issue. Talent's not the issue on Georgia's offensive line.
right.
I mean, it's almost all 5 stars, some 4, a couple 4 stars, but yeah, experience. And I'm real big on. I know offensive line is 5 different players in 5 different positions, but it's almost like just one player almost. Like you can have 4 great offensive linemen. If the 5th one is terrible, that can be a huge problem. You can have 5 great offensive linemen. If they can't play as a unit, that's a problem. And so I'm with you. And one of the reasons I think we'll struggle early in the season against a team like an Alabama, I don't know that the offensive line will be ready that early in the season because of what you said. They're inexperienced. They've all played. We had a lot of injuries on the offensive line last year. They've all played with the exception of that. I think the true freshman is going to start at right tackle. What's his name? Broderick Jones.
Broderick Jones.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to start at right tackle. So, of course, he's never played. But the other 4 all have experience. But they haven't played together as a unit, and I think that's important. And I don't think really any amount of practice is good enough for an offensive line to learn how to play together. Never mind the fact that we haven't really had much of an offseason. So I think Georgia's offensive line could struggle some early in the year, but I think it will only get better as the year goes along. I like your prediction of 9-1. I think most Georgia fans listen. 10 conference games. It's not going to be easy for Alabama to go undefeated. It's tough. There are no cupcake weeks here. None. I mean, you got your Arkansas, your Vandy's. I mean, you have some bad teams in the SEC. I'm not saying you don't, but you don't get a couple of games early in the season against Louisiana Monroe or whoever else to sort of iron out the kinks. You don't get a break late in the year against a terrible team like a lot of SEC teams will schedule a bad team late in November. You don't have any of that this year. Every single game is against an SEC opponent. So we'll see. But Mike Vick, we're gonna wrap it up, buddy. I appreciate you coming on today. You're good people.
Right. Thanks for having me on.
Considering how this went, do you think you would be willing to come on and subject yourself to this again?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We'd love to have you on. Like I said, sorry BBD couldn't make it. We'll make sure next time we get you back on when he's on here, too. I'm sure he would have a lot of interesting questions and stuff for you, too, that I was unable to think of at this juncture. But Mike Vick, take it easy, buddy. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll talk to you soon, I'm sure, on the night show.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Lou.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. All right. Bye. Mike Vick joining us this morning, which was good because we had no BVD. So you guys would have been stuck listening to me the entire time, ramble about whatever nonsense, basically, I guess, had it not been for Mike Vick being on today. Don't forget, you too can be a guest on the morning show with Uncle Lou and BBD. Just send an email to the email address scrolling across the bottom of the screen, louandbbd@gmail.com. We will let you know which mornings are available, and we'll get you scheduled for a time that is convenient for you. Let us know, louandbbd@gmail.com. We'll be back right here at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for another exciting edition of the morning show. And don't forget, tomorrow, noon, I know a lot of you can't watch, work, school, whatever. If you're able to watch tomorrow at noon, please check out the new show that me and Pete are putting together. It's going to be every Tuesday and Thursday at noon. The name of the show is Lunch Money. And we're going to talk about gambling, sports gambling mainly. Be sure and check it out. It's I always get nervous when I start something new on YouTube. So any of you that are able to join tomorrow and check the show out, I hope you will. I think it's going to be a good show. Like anything else, it will take a couple of weeks to... Me and Pete have never done a show together. I mean, I've called into his show a bunch of times. He's called into my show a bunch of times. We've never done a show together. We've never done any collaborations together. So I'm sure it'll take a couple of weeks for us to sort of figure out the flow of the show. But I think it'll be good. I love the idea of the show. We've got some good things planned for the show, some contests with viewers, contests with people in the comment section, you know, picking games against the spread every week, things like that, giving stuff out to the winners, whatever. We got a lot of exciting things planned for that show. I'm excited about it. And a little I always get nervous anytime I do something new. So you guys check it out if you can. That's Tuesday and Thursday, and every Tuesday and Thursday at noon. Lunch Money with Pigskin Pete and Uncle Lou. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the live show. Stay tuned later this afternoon for my, I guess, official week 0. Is that what we're calling this? Y'all help me. Let's get this ironed out. So when is... Okay, so y'all say the SEC is starting in week 3. Is that what... Now, ESPN breaks their schedules down by week. So if I go to week 3 on what ESPN says is week 3... Now, on what ESPN says is week 3, that's September 19th. So according to ESPN, the SEC starts week 4. And because I use ESPN.com to sort of map out my videos every week in terms of what preview videos I'm going to do, and this is where I go to figure out what time the games are being played and all that, I'm going to go by what ESPN is calling the weeks, okay? That would make this upcoming Saturday week 1, which would have been the real week 1. And if we had a normal college football season, next week would have been week 1. I'm going to go with that. Okay? So today will be the official week 1 Uncle Lou top 10 poll. And even though none of the teams in my top 10 have played any games, because I did the preseason top 10, there will still be several changes because the last time I did a top 10, my preseason top 10 about 6 weeks ago, it included teams from the Big Ten and the Pac-12. And I am not going to rank teams that aren't playing. Not as a sign of disrespect. I just feel like it's completely pointless. I know a poll came out like a week ago. It had Ohio State number 2 and Penn State number 8 or whatever. It just makes no sense. Why are you ranking teams that aren't playing? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. So if something changes, which I don't expect it to, I wish it would. I wish they would play. If something changes, I'll update the poll accordingly. But going forward, the poll will not include teams that are not playing. I just think that's silly. So a new top 10 poll coming out this afternoon. Check that out. I'll be back tomorrow morning on the morning show here at 8 a.m. with BVD. And then the world premiere, the pilot episode, if you will, of Lunch Money with Pigskin Pete and Uncle Lou tomorrow live on this channel at noon. I hope to see a lot of you there. I appreciate all of you tuning in this morning. Apologize again for BVD. Let's hope he's okay. He's getting his COVID test this morning. Shout out to those of you that chose to support the channel on the Super Chat this morning. I really appreciate that. Waikiki, Slim Shady, Creeping Death. I appreciate you guys hitting that Super Chat button. Y'all are good people. Choosing to directly support these live shows, not just mine, but the other ones you watch on YouTube too. If you choose to support those shows, that's what keeps these live shows going. So a big shout out to you guys. There's literally a billion different things you could do with $1. The fact that you choose to give some of those dollars to this show just blows me away. So I really appreciate y'all doing that. Big shout out to everybody in the comment section. 65 thumbs up this morning. That's pretty good for the morning show. So I really appreciate that. That does help. That helps get the video out there, and maybe other people can find it. So I appreciate all that too. A lot of you stuck around to the end. There's still 71 of you in here. Jacob Watson, thank you for staying to the end, sir. Jamie Newman, Sean Stapleton, Will Thoroughgood, good to see you in here again, sir. Bob DeBarner is here. RB Smata is here. J-Dub, what's up, buddy? Captain Trips, Kevin Cook, Jordan Bowman. Colby Ellis says, I got the virus last Wednesday, stuck in the house for a couple of weeks. Oh, man, I hope you're, hopefully it's one of the non-symptom type things. I hope you're okay, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I'll do my best to keep you entertained over the next couple of weeks so you don't go stir crazy. Start of college football season is a good time to be locked in the house, though. Could be worse. Could be locked in the house when it's not football season. You know? Ken AV Guy, good to see you in here, sir. Jerome Pruitt, Melissa May. Big Dog Brett, how you been, buddy? Basis Dalton. Appreciate all of y'all tuning in. I'm going to go. Still got a lot of work to do here in the new studio. Check out the video on Twitter of this bar if you didn't see it. What's my Twitter? At Uncle Lou, isn't it? I think it's just at Uncle Lou. Maybe it might be at Crazy Uncle Lou. I think it's at Crazy. Anyway, you'll find it. Good Twitter. Search Uncle Lou, you'll find it. I put a video over that bar. It's going to be great. I can't wait to finish it. It's going to look good. But I still got a lot of work to do in here, and I am going to do a video for the main channel today. So let me run and get started on that. But again, I appreciate all of you tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a good morning.
Some things have changed. I couldn't stop and say enough. So say you won't take blame, even when you are blowing up. Oh my, you're my broken love. Nobody's gonna save it. Oh my, you're my broken love. So go let me show you how.